All right,
Boom.
let's go.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's good, dude?
What is up? It's Lance. I'm the host of the Health and Real Estate Podcast. And I don't just have a guest here. I also is a friend, my buddy Steven Celi. We met about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been 2 already.
And I was trying to think, where exactly did we meet? I think it might have been cold plunge, ice bath on the beach.
Ariana's?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think that was where we met.
That's wild.
Yeah, I remember he just flew in town from Florida to stay for a few days and never left.
Never left, yeah.
So awesome. Tell us how that happened.
Okay.
And we'll just dive right in.
Well, thank you for having me. This is super dope.
Yes.
I love watching you continue to merge your passion and your business. It's awesome. So yeah, I was living in Florida. I was seeking community. I was doing all of my own business with a lot of creative work. And then I was like, I want to be around people like you. I didn't know you existed yet, but I want to be around people that want to chase their dreams. They want to live inspired. They want to live healthy. That was like a huge one. I was living in Florida in the place. It's very peaceful and beautiful, but it was like calm and nothing happening. And I came to visit my friends for 2 days. And the first day I landed was a Friday. And I was going to dunk camp on Sunday, so I had 2 days. And Friday, the big reason I came was to meet Michael and Kyle, and they were hosting an event. So I was going to help with the event. And so that Friday I landed, I didn't even sleep. I was so excited. That's how excited I was. I didn't even know why yet. Saturday, we hosted an ice bath on the beach, our own. Bring like a whole tent, fruit, all these different things. I'm leading people through ice baths. I've never done that in my life, but it was just felt amazing. And that was the first day. And I'm like, this is the best. And also throughout that day, I met so many people, not just that event, that I'm like, I can't leave. So I changed my return flight after I went to dunk camp, which was in Utah. Left on Sunday. After that week of camp, came back and never left. So I just never went back to Florida after that 2-day trip. And it was just for that. It was like, this was the first day I landed, how fun it was. I'm like, I need to just keep this going. And then, as you know, we built the house. We had this thing called the Healthy House, hosting a plant-based potluck. That also was where we just built so much community.
Yes, that is why I really vibe with you. So we met, and like you said, we met, and you just attract your tribe. And I was also searching for a community.
Yes.
I just moved to LA like 3 years ago. Lived in Hollywood my first year. That was not the vibe for me. I had just moved to Venice. And then 2 weeks into moving to Venice, I didn't know anyone from the Healthy House or any of them. I got on Instagram, and on the Explore page, the first thing that popped up was the House of Clarity?
Wow. Okay. That was Ariana's.
That's the ice bath.
I think so.
Instagram page. And that just randomly popped up on my Explore page. And, it's not like a big, massive page, just a couple hundred followers.
That's why I was surprised it came out.
I was surprised too, but before that, a week or two, I've always wanted to do my first ice bath. So that randomly popped up. Well, not randomly. It was divinely. And literally I saw it. The next ice bath was 2 days from when I just saw it. And I was like, oh my goodness, where is this? It was literally a mile from my house. I was like, all right, I got to do this. So I looked more into the information. And it was at 6:30 a.m. on the beach. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know about all this. But I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to find a healthy community. So I gave it a shot. And I literally met some of the best people in my life. That's where I met you, Kyle, all them.
And that might have been my first one.
Yeah.
I only did that a handful of times. And it was early on. So it was one of the first two, if not the first one. Because I didn't do that often. That's crazy. And
who gets up at 5:30 in the morning to jump in ice and then jump in the ocean?
Yeah. Just get on fire after that.
Yeah. That's your people.
I was going to say, it's like you want to do these things, you're looking for people. It's like that's where they're at if you really want to meet the people that are being crazy.
Yes. And then shortly after that, it was actually a month later. I didn't know Kyle and Mike and then we're doing the plant-based potlucks every Monday. And I found out a month later. And then that grew from 10, 20 people to you guys started doing it at the Healthy House. And some nights, man, I think one of the final nights there was 100 people.
It was pretty wild. So I'll just say one cool thing about this whole life is came to LA. I didn't know I was coming to LA, but I'm seeking community. Just wanted to be a part of it because I would meet some people that were amazing, but I'm like, it wasn't consistent. So when I came here, I met amazing people, and then I was hosting it. So that's where I like to see the leaps of following what you love to do, following your passion. Is like you think you just want this, but it gives you like so much more. And so by saying hosting is, I'm not just that I got to be the host, but I fell in love with that. I didn't realize I loved to be a host. And then when I look back, I'm like, wow, that was like made for me. I love helping people feel connected. And also just when people show up to the house, like making it a fun experience. And I still love that.
Yes.
So it's like, even now I was like applying, like looking at different opportunities just as I'm like looking to align with a team instead of like switching for my creative role. And I was like, wow, I actually have like 2 years of hosting experience. We did a potluck every single Monday with 40 to 50 people. And then at the height, as you know, some days were every day. We had events from yoga to breath work to ice bath. We had our own ice bath at the house. And it was just like some weeks were every single day, multiple events. And just host. It was like I barely even lived there. I was just like a host. I was like a built-in host.
Yeah. How was that experience? Because for like a whole year you lived in, there was 4 or 5 of you living there.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was your house, but you hosted so many events. It was almost like a community house. And you guys nicknamed it the Healthy House with so many health events. Literally, there's some weeks you were having 3, 4, 5 events. Some days you would have multiple events.
It was nuts.
What was that experience like?
First, the Healthy House is, I'm proud of the name because it was health, education, and experiences, like the 2 E's. So it's like health with 2 E's. And so it just like fit. It just like fit perfectly. It was really easy to remember, to market. That was kind of my job during the whole thing, is to market it. And then so that was fun. But when I left Florida, I like sold my car. I had an apartment. I had to like sublease that. It wasn't easy. So I'm like all in on this thing that I don't even know what it is, that I had like, I almost just let go of my identity, which is funny that you met me at that time, because came from one chapter and just completely did the whole California thing, let my hair grow out, let go of who I was. I was just like purely a vessel. I was just like, I'm showing up to host these people. I let go of like my training. That was the first time I ever did that. Let go of my it felt like a whole identity shift. So in the house, I had my own room, but it felt like so many people constantly that I'm like, this is just like a living thing that I'm just trying to help happen. And like you're showing up for others so much more than myself. So it was very strange, but I like whenever people ask like, how was it? I was having so much fun. I felt like I was made for it. And then also I just accepted it. I wasn't trying to like figure out what I wanted to do yet. I'm just like, let's see where this goes. Like it had so much energy behind it. I'm just like, I don't even know. So that was one of the hardest winters I've had, because growing up in Florida, there's no real winter. Like it gets a little cold, but here it wasn't that cold compared to like other places. Yeah. But for a Florida boy, it was. And then also it rained more than it's ever rained in LA in many years. And so that rain, drought. Yeah, and it was like wet, and like you just couldn't go outside or like couldn't like move. And so I didn't realize that was really hard on my body to like not move or not feel warm for a long period of time. And I started to like really have like massive anxiety looking back, and it was tough. But yeah, it was all fun.
And I love it. I'm so grateful because you all were so welcoming at the Healthy House. That literally brought the whole like West Side health community in LA together. Like it was epic. Yeah. And
it was fun to have you there because we met early on. You saw like the development of the house. Yes. Then you came to early events with just a few of us. Then some potlucks would just be like 4 to 5 people. Then some were 50. And then you saw the other events. So you were like through the whole thing. Like you're one of the few that saw the inception of it. And it's just like, I get to share that with you. Like, what the hell's going on?
Epic and amazing. So cool. I loved it. It brought everyone together. I met some of the best friends there, some of the best people. So thank you all for setting that up and sharing that space. And I want to touch back on, you said you kind of shifted your whole identity before you moved, because everyone knows you or knew you as a dunker. Yes. And when I saw you dunking at those videos, I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. So inspiring, because you're just a couple inches taller than me, and you just seeing you like not just dunk, but you're doing windmills and stuff. So you're kind of known as a dunker, and then you kind of transitioned into this new identity. Yeah. So tell me more.
Thank you. Dunking was just a pure joy. As you know, as most boys, when they're kids, they want to dunk. So I was the crazy one to go for it. I was also like the shortest out of my friends. So it was kind of, I didn't really think it would change my life. I was just like, I think I can do this. And it was just the inception of like, how fun would that be? So that's a theme in my life now. So that was back in like 2011. I was 18 years old. went to try to do it, and I saw this guy named Andy Nicholson, who I'm still in touch with. He runs dunk camp every year. He was 39, and he got his dunk at my height. So I'm like, oh, wow, this is possible. So now I'm going to do it. And then I got my first dunk, and then just that opened me up. I'm like, okay, I went from like something that wasn't even possible. I would never even think it's possible to be like, okay, it just shifted perception, and now I can do it. And then I did it. And I'm like, see how far I could take this. Trained for like 10 years. That took me on my whole self-discovery journey because I started to see limiting beliefs. And every time I achieved something or had trouble hitting a new goal, I would just be like, oh, it's a new level of belief in myself. So it was just taking me on this ride. I was in a corporate job I didn't like, and I applied the same principles of like focus. I'm like, if I thought that was impossible and I made it possible way beyond, what else was I doing in this career that's not lighting me up? Quit my job in 2019 to do photo and video work. It was just the first way I thought of to make money when I quit. It was just a big leap for me. And then doing that on my own for like 3 years. Now it's been the 10 years of dunk training, 3 years of like entrepreneurial creative work. And I'm like, I'm doing it all alone. And I'm like, okay, I've got to this level of dunking, but I'm like hurt. I've never taken a break. I'm like, do I want to go to another level of dunking? I felt like I went to so far up this mountain. And even if I go, it's like, I'm almost at the peak anyway. It's like, how far is this going to go? And it's the way I put it is like, it felt like I'm on this mountain, and all the things I learned and all the ways I grew, I saw a whole nother mountain I could start. But I had to like let go of this mountain, or at least like detach from, like right now I still train to do it. But when I moved to California, it was like a full letting go. So I'm like, I let go of dunking, and it was hard because I'm like, that's who I am. That's how I've built like my social platforms, which help bring me business. But I'm like, I don't want to be that, or do I don't even know. Like, because I've done it for so long, I haven't ever like let go and say like, is this what I want to do? Or am I just like caught up in this? I heard a quote recently that was, are you committed to the truth, or are you committed to just the consistency? And some people like, they're so consistent, but they're like, it's not even what's true for them anymore.
Exactly.
So the energy behind the dunking was like this pure joy thing. Let's see what I'm capable of. And I went beyond what I thought. And then this other calling started to whisper, like, what else is possible? And it felt like if I don't go towards that, it's this, I have the proof of what it does when I follow dunking. It like changed who I am as a person. And now I'm hearing it again. If I don't, then I'm like limiting myself again. So that was a really big one. Coming to California, I was all in service mode, just trying to do marketing. I was doing my creative. So I'm like, now I can do it with a team. I have a reason. I'm like building this house. So the identity was like letting go of the dunking as like who I am or what I'm known for. Also stepping more into more creative work. I also was doing my rapping and music. And that was still brand new. But I was like, let's just see what else is. I didn't know. I didn't even like, it was more the first whole year was less about like taking on the new identity, and it was more just like letting go of an identity. So I didn't even know what I was doing. Now I'm finally, this year's been like I'm coming out of it. Yeah, I think does that answer it?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I love that you did that, because a lot of people do things for so long, like you say, so consistently, and then they think that's them and their identity, but they're not being true to themselves if they want to do something else. So seeing you go from dunking to rapping and just being a ball of energy, which I want to get to the energy too, is like inspiring and gives other people permission to like let go of what identities that no longer serve them.
Definitely.
So thank you for doing that and inspiring other people. And
I don't know any other way.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, after you kind of switched the identity from dunking to your creative and rapping, I think I went to your first concert, your first amazing. Performance.
Incredible.
Yeah. Was that what was it? I forget the name of it, but it was at that little pool party.
Oh, the Emmy Palooza.
The Emmy Palooza. Was that the first?
That was one or two. That might have been like the first one that I got invited to like go. Because I think I did it at the house, but that was like me saying, hey, I'm going to rap, and that's just people coming. But that was like the first, I think that was my first one.
That's love crazy. It. One of my favorite songs. The best, dude. One of my favorite songs. It gets me so pumped. Is "Beamin'." I love it. That song gets me so amped. I remember one time, because we both go to Gold's Gym. Yeah. I remember one time I was listening to that song, and then I randomly see you. I was like, "What's up?" And I showed you. Remember that? I showed you my play. I was like, "Beamin'."
Nothing better, dude. That song. It's so fun because the rapping came from me just expressing myself. So it's a long story, but one part that always hits is like when I was in corporate, I was making YouTube videos trying to escape corporate. That's one way. Before I quit my job to do like freelance photo and video, I'm like, I'll be a YouTuber. People are blowing up on YouTube. So I was going hard. I was posting like almost every day with like music and transition. That's when I got good at editing. And I'm like, I started like rap to those little intros because it would be like Dunk Life, and I made a little Dunk Life intro, and that really did well. And then there were some times where I'm like not editing, but I'm like writing about a rap about corporate, and I didn't even know, I can't even tap into that person, but he was just writing to just express. And when I wrote those raps, I was just like, I remember it like really helping me calm down, because I'm like, how the frig am I going to escape this corporate job? Like, what am I going to do? I have no idea. Like, I have no path in front of me. And like writing these lyrics would be like, if I die and someone listens to this, they know I'm like going for this, because the song is about like, I don't want to die in corporate. It's out now. It's called Corporate, but it's basically like, how do I follow this path? It's just like whatever I'm going through. And when I finished the song, I'm like, okay, I remember feeling like that felt good. And then years later, like 3 years later, I just posted that song this year, actually. So this was like 5 years later, I actually finished it. But like when I moved to California, listening to that song or showing people, I'm like, oh wow, this actually came true. Like I'm not in it. I followed this path. So that's when it started to really hit me that like this rapping is like helping me heal and then guiding me. So letting go of the identity, I was just so open to whatever it is. And I was like really afraid of choosing with my mind, because dunking was like such a pure joy thing. I'm like, I don't want to like choose the wrong thing. Dunking simply removed my limits. It made me think, if I think of something's possible, I can do it. And that's where I wanted to stop dunking, because I'm like, I know it's possible if I keep going, but do I want to do that, or I just I'm trying to prove that I still believe it? I'm like, no, I believe it. So now I have this belief I can do anything. What do I do with that? And I'm like, how do I figure that out? That's when I like let go of the identity and tried to like let life guide me to say, what do I want to do? Kept saying no to everything, to just be really clear. And then at some point I was like not happy anymore. I'm like, I'm not happy. And then I'm like, the joy of rapping was so pure. I'm like, that's just fun. I don't know where it's going to go, but that's when I started saying yes. And that's when I said, I'm a rapper now. And I made a whole vlog about that. And that felt so exciting. And then I'm like, I'm just following this, started performing like crazy. And that started to bring me purpose again, to be like, I just have to follow the fun. I don't have to know where it's going. And it felt very similar to the dunk journey, where you commit energetically to doing it. And now I still am, but it doesn't mean it has, just like dunking, it's not like how I'm making my income. I just use it as my expression. So dunking, looking back, was just an expression of like me seeing what's possible and believing in myself. But I started performing, thinking I'm going to be a famous rapper. Went performance after performance, started building, but then I started to get unstable again, because I'm like trying to work on my creative business. I don't have money coming through the rapping, and I'm like, am I not trying hard enough? But that was like too much at once. So I'm like, okay, I don't need rapping to be my income. I want to like have my own business. And then I actually met an amazing partner named Jordan. We did digital marketing for like 9 months. So instead of me like doing like freelance jobs, I'm like, I want my creative to like be a business. Did that for like almost the past year. And just 2 months ago, I called it quits there. Because I'm like, the whole year I actually hired a coach to be like, what's my purpose? I want to build financial foundation. Ever since I quit my job, I haven't had that stable foundation of income, because I'm trying a million things. I wasn't like picking one.
Yep.
So I picked one with the digital marketing, but I'm like, I want it to be stable. After like 6 months of it, I'm like, this doesn't feel right, but it's like a long-term play. It's like my skills, I want to serve the world, my skills, but it doesn't light me up. And then some of my creative clients actually asked me for energy coaching. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. And I had the same fear of, can I do this? Like imposter, but I was so excited. And I'm like, and that was the difference that helped me shift. That was like, okay, I see how this is, because the creative was such a challenge to become a creative director, run a whole agency. I'm like, I like that it's a challenge because it makes me grow, but I'm like, I feel like I want to follow the excitement, but I also in the past tried to do that and wasn't successful. So I was like, I want to try something different. So much resistance. The coach really helped. Then I had this opportunity. I'm like, okay, energy coaching's it. And the digital marketing actually fell off very quickly. They're like, actually, we don't want to like shift your position. You're done. Whoa. So it kind of felt like I lost my job or got let go. Full force energy coaching. It's been the past 2 months. I have 3 clients. I'm so inspired every single day. I feel like I'm like more on fire than ever to build it. I feel like I can do it every single day. I feel like I'm more myself. And it finally feels like after 5 years of like just trying things, I have clarity on what I want to do. And that is energy coaching, speaking, and performing. So I know I want to perform. I know I want to use my voice. I don't know if it's going to be... Were you at the Saturday Soul this last weekend?
I was
okay. Very cool event at Mudwater. Mike Posner showed up, and he shared his music.
I saw that.
It was incredible.
On your Instagram. Yeah.
So technically, we shared the same stage that day.
Wow.
Which is like a magic moment. Super
That's
cool.
awesome.
But it wasn't my rap, all the doubts, whatever. But we were on the same stage. But he sang his songs and told his story in between the songs. I'm like, oh, that's how I can see my public speaking being. Kind of like the Beaming Genius. Like there's so much behind that song of like capturing that moment. And then there's so much about the corporate. I just shared that story. Then I sing the song. So I'm like, that's how my performance, I think, will shape. And then the energy coaching is, I don't know if I'll be a coach forever, but I love helping people in that way. And maybe it ends up being just through music that they get energy coached. But right now it's been so inspiring, and it's the best because it feels like I'm growing every single day from it, and there's like no resistance. The only resistance I have is like, is it going to work? But it's just my own doubts. But the passion behind it is, I'll just put this more too, is like, for people that don't know, when I did my creative work, all the time I was in behind the camera, helping people, even like this, getting people to film a podcast, I would help them share their voice. And some people were afraid. What are people going to think? And I would make a video that they saw themselves in such a new light. They're like, whoa, I didn't know I could look like that. That I loved that piece. I didn't care. I was good at the camera, photo and video and editing, but I loved the piece of getting them comfortable.
And help share their story, share their message.
So it feels like dunking taught me my expression. Then I keep refining it. It taught me that I love using the camera and telling a story. And if I keep refining that more, it's like I want to inspire that. And even with dunking, people would ask me, how do I train? How do I jump? And even now I'm like, I want to like just keep you motivated and inspire you. Do you even want to dunk? Who knows? But I don't care. I don't want to be and even with my coaching, like I'm not going to be the person to be like, you're going to meditate 3 times a day. We'll come up with those, but I'll be like, I'm going to keep you in your highest state, like access your gifts, your frequency, set your boundaries, and inspire you to do that. And same with the music. So that's how it kind of whittled itself down to the truth.
To the truth. I love it so much. And your energy is so freaking contagious.
Thank you.
I feel like wherever you go, you just light up the room. And I have a ton of energy. But like
you do,
your energy's like next level.
We always every time we meet, we're just on fire. We can't help it. It's so funny.
I love it, and I know for the past like year or two, I've known you. You're always talking about energy. I think your Instagram for a while was Be the Energy Steve. So what does that mean to you? Be the energy. What's your definition of energy?
Great question. First, it feels like it came to me. People say that I have good energy. It was very simple. My marketing and branding brain was like, it's very simple to remember. And also when I was meeting people at the house, and especially when I was doing the rapping, if I say, hey, I'm Steven, great. If I say, hey, I'm Energy Steve, they're going to remember that. So it's a lot easier. It makes sense. It's very simple. It's like, don't overthink it. That's one side of it. And then the other side is like, when I was going through my self-discovery in corporate, overcoming limiting beliefs of myself, I was like, what's the purpose of life? And when I started searching, I found Joe Dispenza books where he talks about like the science behind it and spirituality. I started reading spiritual texts, and they were all very similar. And I was really fascinated in the quantum, which is like everything's a vibration first. So I went very scientific with like the string theory that literally the universe is a vibration. And then the spiritual texts that say the same things in spiritual words, and like the way you manifest things is like matching, like believing in it, right? And so combining those two for me is energy, which is like the source we came from. There's more to it as well, but it's basically like that's my life force energy. That's my God. Energy is my God.
I love it.
And
energy is everything.
And that 100%. And people that I work with, it's always comes down to what's the energy behind it. Whether you're investing in yourself, you're investing in a business, what's your energy behind it? That's always what I come down to when it's training. It's like you always have to track your energy from the physical, actually, like how do you feel at the gym? But what's your intention? Why are you doing this? And that's only you. I love helping people access what's their unique energy. And lastly, we're all one vibration, and we're all unique expressions of that vibration. So energy is saying there's an energy we're all connected to, and then what's your unique energy that you give?
Definitely. Great answer.
Thank you.
I love it. And you have good energy. Some people you can just tell when they walk in, whether it's their energy, their vibe, whatever, you can just like feel it. And that's always been so crazy to me. So I love it. And so you're an energy coach now.
Yes.
So tell me what exactly an energy coach is and like kind of what you offer to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love hearing success stories and,
Sure.
client testimonials. So
So
please
yes,
share.
part of my self-discovery as well is I realized I loved people. So when I was in my corporate job, I watched like the HR person facilitate a group meeting. I'm like, I didn't know that was a job. Like she's just helping us like understand each other's personalities. I would literally go to like the bank when I was looking at like quitting my job. I'm like, I would work at the bank. I'm like, why do I want to work at a restaurant? And I realized it's the people. I just really like interacting with people. And that's why I love the hosting. What was your question again?
Kind of what exactly
What the hell is it?
is an energy coach? What do you offer?
Yeah. So then searching for those types of jobs, I found life coaching. So I got certified at that. And that was all about neuro-linguistic programming. So I was like, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing. I thought life coaching was like a joke, but there was like so much science behind it as well. And combining the two of like spirituality plus how your subconscious works. Fascinated by psychology and always kept diving into that. And then I also got certified. I know people in the addiction space. So I got certified in addiction recovery. So I just kept learning about.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
then I don't really work with too many people like that,
Yeah.
but so many people that I've worked with have some kind of tendency, even if it's just caffeine.
Yeah.
But it's just understanding the mind more. So I've been always fascinated with the mind and how it controls your body and then how you have your own unique energy. So all of that being said is that it's a combination of spirituality and life coaching to understand your subconscious, help people overcome limiting beliefs. But what I really love is helping people tune in to their unique gifts. I believe we all have a unique gift, and when you match it with the unique need of the world, that's your dharma. That's what Deepak Chopra says. So helping people align with their purpose and have more fun. That's all it is. And the actual
Helping
tangibles,
people align with their purpose and have more fun.
Yes. I think all of us, if we have the answers within, so I help illuminate that. That's why I work with my coach, because you have your own mind, all your emotions. It's like a constant dance. And by yourself, for me, I use my voice. I share all the time. Content's been helpful. I have my practices of rapping that help me understand what I'm going through and embody a new person. And then I have my community, my coaches, my mentors that I'm constantly sharing with to get all this out. So I love giving back in that way. And coaching is helping people stay in that state. I like to say it's like your return on energy. Whatever you're doing, if you're your full self, you're authentic every single day. Imagine the life you're going to be leading every single day versus being a little drained, versus being a little bit too much in your head.
Awesome. I love it. So
long answer.
I love it. Cause I'm just now learning about all this like energy stuff, like spiritual energy and all that. So on like a physical side of energy, what are like some, I guess a couple, maybe not hacks, but a couple tips where people could help raise their physical energy?
Yes.
Like just a couple of, key little tips.
The simplest things for physical is sleep, nutrition, and movement.
Not energy drinks.
No energy drinks. No energy drinks. So
we want that natural energy.
I drink
Get
coffee
higher on your
every
own
day.
supply.
I have a friggin' espresso machine in my backpack.
When we were meeting here today for the podcast,
I have a big backpack.
Big backpack just bulging out. He's like, guess what's in my bag? I was like,
no idea.
I don't know. He's like, espresso machine.
I picked it up on Facebook Marketplace. So I love coffee.
I love it.
And one theme that I really love is that the energy is always within. Like you don't have to gain more energy. You don't have to do more. You have to remove the blocks that are in the way. So physical sleep is so big for me. I've been I don't know, from the time change, I've been going to sleep before 9 p.m. I have the Whoop on now, and it literally says I'm out cold before like 8:30, 8:40. So I don't mind that, but that took time too to like some people I would meet, girls I would date, they'd be like, what are you doing? Going to bed at 9 o'clock. You're 25 years old. I'm 31 now, but I'm an energy freak. But like that really meant a lot to me. So that's what I mean by I love helping people with that piece, because I could say, go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, but they're like, is it true to them? I don't know. But if you're saying it is, then you have to own your truth. That's why it comes back to energy. So point is, sleep is huge for me.
Yes.
Clients I work with now, when they're a little in their head, I'm like,
sleep is so underrated.
Are you tired? That's like the first question. They're like, yeah, I'm a little tired. I'm like, okay, well, everybody, when they're a little tired from energy drinks, lack of sleep, poor nutrition, you're going to be a little bit in that state. So physical foundations of eating right, training right, and sleeping is like the bare minimum to be in a good frequency.
Awesome. Yeah. I love it. So those are some of the physical things. And
Yes.
then, like you said, energy does come from within.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get 8 hours of sleep, proper nutrition, and all that. But there are times where I was running really low on sleep and just really tired. But then when you're about to do something you're like so passionate about,
Yes.
you have unlimited energy.
Yes.
So where does that come from? Like you kind of said you want to align people with their mission or passion and then make it fun.
Yes. So that's
So where does that inner energy come where you're just like tired, work 2-3 hours of sleep, but you just get lit up from your passion?
that goes to the source energy.
source
I
energy.
feel like if you're passionate, that's why I feel it's so important for you to align with your passion, because one, if you want to look at it competition wise, you'll never compete with somebody that's on their passion, because they're going to love what they do no matter ups and downs. They're just happy to do it, right? And then two, it's like you're not going to be on fire every day physically. So where does that come from? It's not even from you. It's just like you're so excited to do that, and that excitement has been my guide. And so I help people find what lights them up, and it literally lights you up. So like no matter, like right now, if I had a client needs me, I'm like so lit up to do that. But if a client needed me in the creative work and needs me to get on my computer and edit, I'm not lit up to do that. So it's like, it's just a small drain. It's only for you to understand, like, why is it contracting you and does it expand you? And simply put, it comes from beyond you.
From beyond.
And that's where I feel like we all have these gifts. Like, and that's what I had to own is like, I want to talk to people all day long. And it's crazy to me that other people don't, or that I want to be on stage. Like when I come on stage, I feel so much energy come through that I'm like, how does nobody else want to do this? So I help people realize, like, because you want to do it does not mean, like, some people have so many blocks. I did myself. Because you love to do it, you feel like you're not worthy of doing it. And it's so silly, because it's like, that's your calling, but you have to get clear on, like, is it your ego or is it your true calling? And
I love it. So you help people discover
yes,
what kind of their calling and passion is to be fully aligned and fully energized.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a transformation for you. So
yeah, you got some client success stories.
I got a bunch, but I'm trying to think of one about following their passion. Well, like a simple one, like this one guy was a physical trainer. He had clients super early in the morning, but he likes his morning time for himself. But they were like the highest paying clients. So he's like, I don't want to lose them. So, but I want that morning time for me. So after a lot of work, it was like, is it, because it's only true for him. I'm like, is it true that, would you rather have those paying clients right now in your business as you're developing, you need that money, or do you have enough and it's just more of a fear that you don't want to lose them, and that morning time would be really powerful for you? It was the latter. So I'm like, that's where you get the balls and you say, I'm taking this next level. And what was really cool is the second he said, can you please, like, I can't do this time anymore, they fell off, but new clients came for even more at his later time. So now he got his morning that was powerful for him, and then like new clients, and then he was so energized because now he's got his morning for him, he's got more money, and he's so gassed up by the end of the day to work on those clients rather than having to sacrifice his morning. So that's where it's like, the energy means so much, because you're going to be lit up to train them rather than being like, oh, this is my morning time. And so you have to trust that it's hard to navigate on your own. But that was just one simple one that came to mind.
Awesome. So you kind of helped him discover that this was just a story. He was kind of telling himself that he can't do his mornings like he wants to, because he has to do these high paying clients. But then when he, like you said, had the balls to kind of tell him, they either left or they went to a new time, and he got to enjoy his mornings. And he got new, higher paying clients. So that's a win-win.
It was a huge win. And so that's what I love. Why I call it energy coaching, is because you have to have some certain beliefs. Some is that if you're true with that truth energy, you're working on your purpose, you will align with the best thing. Like right now, if I tell anybody, if you're feeling your best, you're happy, you're feeling energized, you're feeling passionate, do you think you'll show up to a business call better or worse? Like, obviously, there's no doubt, right? Like, if you're feeling like this is not the job I want, you're drained, you're tired, you're not going to be your best. You just can't perform your best. So everybody knows that. But then when it comes to like running a business as an entrepreneur, you have to, like, money has to come in. So you're like, I need to make this move, but I'm drained, but I need the money from that. So it gets really difficult, because money is really tied to survival. So if you can work through that, it's really powerful, and it's scary because it's unknown. But that's where like the subconscious comes in. If you know that it's just unknown, but you know it's the truth for you, and you know this is a fear over here, then it helps you take that step. So that's what I really help them do is like, this is your truth. This is going to energize you. This is just a fear. You're fearing losing the clients. But if you trust the energy that when you align with your highest, you'll align with better clients, then we know we're taking the right step, and it's just scary for the mind because so if you know the workings of the mind, it helps you take those steps.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So what does it look like if someone does want to work with you? Do you offer like group coaching? Do you have like pre-made courses, one-on-one? Like walk me through that.
All one-on-one right now.
All one-on-one.
I'm doing some like free groups. I do everything from a year program where we commit to a year together, 6 months, 3 months, or even like a trial month. But what I've learned over the 5 years is like one session, I don't like it when I have a session with somebody, they have a breakthrough, and then I follow up with them in a month and they don't change. So that's why I really stress at least like a month together to like act on it. Because a lot of times what we have is like a breakthrough session, like a one-on-one session that's deeper. We kind of go through those things. We get to feel fears, move tears, whatever we got to do. That was a cool rhyme.
Yeah, say that again.
Feel fears and move tears.
I love it.
But tears are so good. You know, you're like feeling some, like some people uncover, like I had this girl recently, she came to me to make more money, but going deeper, she actually wanted to work on a relationship. But like, that's how she kind of got started. Working on a relationship, she realized she hadn't like forgiven herself for like a breakup she had 7 years ago, but she's a very powerful person herself, and she wasn't able to access that on her own. I've learned from the hosting, looking at the hosting, and even like helping people on camera, I'm able to create a space for people to fully show up. And sometimes I like to say this too, is like, what's your craziest fear, the scariest fear you've ever had? And what's your wildest dream you've ever had? If you've never shared those, it's a very powerful thing to say, you know what, I actually want to be a rapper. Like I have the balls within. I'm looking at my human design, by the way. My human design, I have like this, the ego center defined, which means like willpower. And some people don't have that. Same way I don't have like my gut defined. So I sometimes get caught up there in different ways. So I just believe like the alignment of clients is like, they just need a little courage to do that. Or like, tell me what your dream is. I'm not going to judge it. I want to hear the wildest thing you do, because I believe that's like your gift if that lights you up that much. So just the space to share it is really transformative and moving tears. I don't know where I was going with all that, but.
No, I love it. Just kind of like, what if someone wanted to become a client of yours, like
an energy freak,
energy freaks, and freaks spelled like frequency.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
like
I say that
frequency.
because then it's like, you know that we're one energy. What's your frequency? We can commit to a year, at least a month, but we do like a deep dive session where we move the tears, feel the fears, and then every day I share some voice notes with you, because I've learned that's what I love to do with my coach, and also that's like my gift for people too, is like, hey, I'm with you on this journey. Like, this is what I'm feeling from you. I know we had this session, just a reminder, like a little boost. And I love being that boost. And more limiting beliefs I had for my own business is like, who is going to pay for that? Like, who wants that? But that's what I'm helping now with people. I'm actually making a course with Benza of helping people. You have to define, like realty probably, define who you want to work with and how you work. Right? Realty is a little different because you kind of have to do the open houses on the weekends, probably, I'm guessing. But it's like, if you want to do it so differently, it's like, this is when I know it is. Like, if it's great for you, you have to own that's your style as a coach. So for me is, I love helping people use their voice. I love having them access daily to me. And that's a lot of energy. But some people do like weekly calls that are short. I do like once every 2 weeks, sometimes just once a month. But we have like daily communication that's a little burst that keeps them in that alignment.
Awesome. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Everyone go follow my guy.
Thank you,
what's your Instagram now? And
be the energy Steve. Still
be the energy Steve. Follow him on YouTube too. Like, everywhere. I'm just always so lit up when I'm with him. Dude. Light up every room. So much energy. Your energy is contagious.
Thank you.
And you're always coming from a place of love and service. And like, seriously, you have done so much for the West Side community. Like,
can't believe
you like raise the energy of a lot of the West Side. Like,
thank you so much.
I was just so glad I met you all. Divine timing at that ice bath. And so I do want to wrap it up. So I just want to ask if there is, before the joke off, we're just going to do a quick one, like simple health tip, because this is Health and Real Estate Podcast. Just like, what's one simple health tip that someone could implement? I know you mentioned sleep earlier.
Mentioned sleep. I would say follow your excitement.
Follow your excitement. Yes.
Because that's coming from my world of the energy world. If you're following your excitement and you're following what lights you up, that's your highest frequency, which is your highest health, which is your highest impact, your highest service. That's your best self. So what lights you up?
Follow what lights you up.
Yes.
Have fun
That's
with it.
I was going to say one big shift I've made is I've committed to when I became an energy coach or like committed to this path was, which I got from a ceremony I did years ago, but I've never like acted on it, which is I measure my success on moments of inspiration. And I love that because I used to think I need to like teach people and go the whole journey, but I just love the inspiration. I love the spark. I'm the little fire. I don't need to be the one that maintains the fire, but I'm just the fire for people.
Yes.
And so if I'm inspired, that's a win for me. If they're inspired, that's a win. So like me inspired, them inspired, that's how I measure success.
I love that.
Let's go.
Awesome. Well, before we get to the joke off,
baby.
I love corny dad jokes. Is there anything else you would like to share with the people? Did I miss anything?
I think that's good. Thank you for the stage. Good. I think I want them to know how vital you've been. There's so many times that you have inspired me. There's so many times that I've posted something and you've shared that it's resonated and it keeps me going. And it's been very fun to share this journey with you. And I'm so excited that you're doing this.
Yes.
So many people have talked about doing a podcast. So many people have asked me how to do it. I don't think you've even asked me how to do it. But you're doing it, dude. Like so many people don't do it. So I want to celebrate you for showing up, for doing it, for actually taking action. We had that movie night at your place. We've had so many things and you're doing it. Well, so there's so many words that don't.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. I love we just feed off each other.
Yeah.
We hoop together and all that. And yeah, with the podcast, I like you guys should have seen it before this. I'm not tech savvy at all.
We just set up the whole friggin' room.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So I just said, screw it. We're doing it. Figure it out on the way. So now we're going to go to the joke off.
I do have a joke. I'm ready.
I love corny jokes. So we're going to end with a joke. You said you have one?
Mine's worse probably than yours.
The worse, the better. That's
how
I feel.
That's very true. But I wish it was cornier. Okay, I'm not going to hype it up. I used AI to help me come up with energy coach ones. What's an energy coach's favorite exercise?
What's an energy coach's favorite exercise?
I'll also tie it in dunking. Former dunker's energy coach's favorite exercise. You'll like it.
I don't know.
Quantum leaps.
That is perfect for
it's
you.
It's not really the joke, but it's kind of just like a pun.
It's perfect for an energy coach.
It was fun.
I love that. All right. Well, mine's on my phone, which we're recording on that, but let me try to remember it. How come why is the phone wearing glasses?
I really want to get it. Give me 30 seconds. Why is the phone wearing glasses?
Why is the phone wearing glasses?
To look smart.
That's actually good because smartphone.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's not quite the answer, but it's because it lost all its contacts. So corny.
So good.
But I do like the smartphone one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Quantum Leap.
Did you ever try comedy? I tried comedy once and I bombed.
I haven't. I have such mad respect for him. I don't think I could do that because I'm like just naturally funny with friends and conversationally, but a lot of people think that translates to
boundaries. You know yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool,
I actually learned recently a lot of those comedians, like I think it was Seinfeld. I watched a documentary on Seinfeld. And it takes comedians like a whole year to make a 1 hour Netflix special.
Yeah.
And they go up and they go to these smaller comedy bars and they'll test like 10 different jokes.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 will land and then 8 they bomb. Oof. And these are like famous comedians and they're bombing half the time. That blew my mind. I was like, holy crap, they're just failing forward and testing and refining and tweaking.
Yeah.
And after a year, they perfected it.
Yes.
So that's something I just learned recently. Dude. But my guy, this was awesome.
Amazing, dude. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thanks for joining. And this was just an energetic episode.
That's good. It's good.
Quantum leap.
Baby. Yeah.
All right, we are out.
Thank you.
Follow my guy. That was awesome.
So good, dude. Thank you for the questions.
Yes.
1, 2,